covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
Tonight at 6, expanding commercial flight destinations in Redding. The new commitment from the city to connect you to Denver. Plus, new at 6, we're learning more about the cherished artifacts saved from the Bidwell Mansion fire. But first, rain and snow are moving through on your Friday night. Thanks for joining us. I'm Haley Watson. We are tracking winter weather. A live look behind me from our Tuscan camera. Well, mostly you're just seeing a lot of rain out there, and we do have team coverage to show you what is going on. A look at Shasta County road impacts on I-5. But first, Camille Acevedo is in the Storm Tracker Weather Center. What is on tap for tonight, Camille?
You know, Haley, we can expect to see some more rain, gusty winds. I know it is really chilly out there. I feel so bad for all those reporters out there or anybody out there because it is very chilly and windy. We are expecting a little bit more rain tonight, but definitely more rain tomorrow morning. And then, of course, more snow in the higher elevations. And then we're expecting more rain on Monday. So Sunday, we're expecting a dry period in between both storms. Temperatures right now, it's currently 50 in Chico and 51 in Redding, and the wind speed, gusty southeast winds, 22 miles per hour here in Chico and 23 in Redding. And coming up, I'll have that 7-day forecast for you.
Okay, thanks, Camille. And we're going to head to Shasta County, right there at the Fondale exit on I-5. So, Jesse, are people allowed to drive north?
Well, Haley, the rain is coming down harder now than it has all day, and the winds are still quite gusty, causing dangerous conditions on Interstate 5 traveling northbound. Caltrans does not have the road closed, nor are there any chain restrictions at this time. Though travelers are encouraged to make sure they check those road conditions before leaving, because that could change any time, because snow is falling further in the high country. Snow removal operations are in effect into Siskiyou County. And so people that are traveling north should be aware that it is quite dangerous heading north on Interstate 5 at this time. Reporting live in Mountain Gate, Jesse Angelo, Action News Now.
Okay, Jesse, thank you. And we do have a link up for the Caltrans Quick Maps. Before you hit the road, you can check to make sure there are no chain restrictions or closures in place. Now, we have an update from the Butte County Sheriff's Office on those 2 little boys shot at the Feather River Adventist School in Palermo. The sheriff posted on Facebook that Roman Mendez and Elias Wolford are still being treated at UC Davis, but they were able to see each other for a short visit this week. The sheriff's office says there's still, of course, a long road ahead for both of them, but they are getting stronger every day. A 16-year-old from Magalia is charged with gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated. DA Mike Ramsey says he was driving a stolen truck and he crashed with the owner riding in the back of it. 50-year-old Robert Edo was on the phone with 911 when that crash happened on Carnegie Drive around 2 a.m. Monday. Ramsey says Etta jumped in the truck as it was being stolen and was on the phone with dispatchers for 6 minutes before it crashed. Etta died, and the teen suspect was treated for a broken leg. He is in custody in juvenile hall. New at 6, a Palermo couple arraigned today for abusing kids in their own family. DA Mike Ramsey says Zar Cha fractured his 14-year-old nephew's rib and knocked his 8-year-old daughter unconscious after punching her in the face. Ramsey says Cha pointed a gun at the boy and threatened to kill him. Ramsey also says Jenny Vang broke the boy's tooth using a metal spoon and burned him with a spatula. Cha faces 29 years in prison. Vang faces up to 14 years on her charges. Redding police say a man loaded a shopping cart full of more than $500 worth of merchandise at Target and just walked out. This happened today after 11 this morning at the store on Dana Drive. Police say Sean Colgrove Perry started loading those stolen goods into a car. They say he ignored commands to stop, then tried to run off via Churn Creek Road into the Food Max parking lot. Police say Colgrove Perry eventually did surrender, and that he also had an active warrant out of Humboldt County for being under the influence of drugs. We have new details about the initial response to the Bidwell Mansion fire.
Do you know why or how this fire spreaded so quickly?
No, I don't know why it spread so quickly. It's not common for us to get a fully involved structure reported to us. So at this point, like I said, it's under investigation. But for it to be fully involved with people driving by, they usually get reported pretty quickly. So fortunately, the conditions in this case were a little bit different. So we were forced to just surround it and go into defensive operation.
That was Chico Fire Battalion Chief Jim Lukanik. He was one of the first people to arrive on scene just after 3 a.m. when that fire broke out. Now, a lot of you have been asking us to find out, how is it that this fire spread so quickly? Well, we asked the battalion chief that, and he said really at this time, they just don't know. They're still trying to figure it out. They've done trainings on the mansion. They've practiced putting out fires on this exact building. But by the time they got there, it was really too late. There was no way they could even go inside the building. They just had to attack it from the exterior. We also spoke to some neighbors who said that they heard explosions coming from the fire soon after it broke out. When we asked Chico Fire about that, they really had no information about what could have caused that noise, but we're going to keep working to get you those answers. New at 6, we're learning more about the few artifacts that state parks removed from the Bidwell Mansion during renovations. Action News Now reporter Sade Pullen is live at the site on Esplanade in Chico. Sade, what did they remove before the fire?
So, Haley, officials tell me that little was removed amid the renovations, but some textiles were saved prior to the fire. Ursula Felice, the district curator for the Northern Butte District, tells me that 90% of the artifacts inside are not savable. She says that only 10% of the artifacts removed were removed prior to the fire, and she says those are now in storage. She says 90% of the artifacts were not removed due to the remodeling happening on the exterior of the building.
I had removed some items like textiles that needed to be frozen off-site. So the way I handled it was that we went room by room, moved all the items away from the windows to make room, avoid danger for damage.
Felice says before the fire, amid the renovations, her and her team felt it was safer for most of the objects to stay inside and remain in place because some objects are extremely heavy and they would be damaged if they were completely taken out of the mansion, such as the piano. Felice says despite the loss, she's still grateful for the 10% of artifacts that were saved, and they are now safely in storage. Reporting live in Chico, I'm Sade Pullen with Action News Now.
Looking forward to getting to see them. Thank you, Sade. Matt Teague, the district superintendent for California State Parks, tells us that the mansion didn't have a sprinkler system. And we asked the Chico Fire Department about that, if there had been sprinklers, if it would have really done much to help. And of course, at this time, they just say they just don't know. A few more Bidwell Mansion memories. John Zepeda shared this photo of his son's 4th grade elementary school trip. This was in 2013 to the mansion, and his son Connor playing Annie Bidwell's photo. Heidi Conberg shared a photo of a 2017 Bidwell Mansion tour. And you can share memories or newsworthy video and events on our citizen journalism page at the top of our Action News homepage and our app. Police tased and arrested someone they say came into the store, a Walgreens in Orland, that is, and threatened to shoot everybody inside. Police say an employee told them the man came there on Newville Road at around 9 this morning. There were 5 people in the store when the man started making the threats. 23 grams of meth and 3.5 grams of cocaine are off the streets of Tehama County. Tehama County Probation says that is what Canine Riggs sniffed out of the car of a wanted offender on post-release community supervision. Officers arrested the suspect on felony narcotics charges. Hoping for a flight out of Denver, from Redding to Denver? Well, last week we told you that the county wasn't going to put any money toward the effort. But as Action News Now's Blake Mayfield shows us, the city isn't giving up.
By United advancing their service and adding another destination, what that shows other airlines is, hey, Reading is, really starting to come around with their air service, and maybe they'll start looking at us as another location.
Next Tuesday, Reading City Council will vote on approving a new contract agreement with United Airlines that would bring the Reading Airport its first ever direct flight to Denver. The flight has not been able to land in Reading in recent years due to United Airlines' struggles with pilot and staff shortages. The Reading Airport is the only airport on the West Coast with direct flights to both San Francisco and Los Angeles, but not Denver. The agreement includes a minimum $2 million revenue guarantee to support the new flight, with funding coming from nonprofits, public agencies, and businesses. Bade has been in his role as assistant city manager for a couple years now. He says the city wants to vote on the agreement before the new year. City Council will not meet again after next week until January 21st.
We didn't want to have the negotiations just stale out while we wait for January.
Earlier this week, the Shasta County Board of Supervisors declined to allocate more money towards the flight. Even though the city won't be getting additional county money for the agreement, Bade says local businesses like Sierra Pacific Industries, Black Bear Diner, and the Bethel Church have all helped with the city's efforts. If the Denver flight is successful, more destinations in the future could be
something like Phoenix or San Diego, and we'll see.
The Reading City Council will review the proposed agreement next Tuesday, December 17th at 6 p.m. at Reading City Hall. Reporting in Reading, I'm Blake Mayfield, Action News Now.
Bade says the new flight would boost tourism dollars and attract new business to the area. City Council is expected to authorize the agreement Tuesday. New details about the governor's visit on Tuesday to Colusa County. CAO Wendy Tyler saying they are deeply disappointed, saying Newsom didn't coordinate with local officials, that there was no meaningful engagement, and called it a missed opportunity.
Colusa County, none of us are naive, and a comment was made in the roundtable we just had, like Imperial County, is struggling always with its status, not an enviable status, of having the highest unemployment in the state of California.
The CAO also said in part that county supervisors in 2019 invited Governor Newsom to visit and talk about water management, agriculture, and economic development, but that he never responded. We reached out to the governor's office and they disputed this, saying that they did have meaningful conversations this week with county leaders. We're tracking dangerous driving conditions for the weekend ahead. A live look out at the roads in 2 minutes. And new at 6, how the state plans to enforce its plan to keep your home or business covered when we come back.